I love the way it speaks about love because it's basically not the kind of love that comforts you, but it's the kind of love that educates your ego, that gives you discomfort so you can be a better person at the end.
Welcome back to Be Listen. I'm Rebecca Salomea on the phone with Bushra Kayıkçı. Hey Bushra, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm really excited to talk to you.
Me too.
You asked us to bring L'amour vivant by Sami Yusuf. So first, let's have a listen together.
Okay.
Gel ey gönül derdine, dert ile derman yaraşır mı, yaraşır mı? Aşk olmayınca.
Yeah, so it's important to say that this is only a short excerpt of the piece, and in totality, it's more than 20 minutes long. So, but you asked us to listen to specifically this part. Maybe you want to speak on why?
Yeah, I mean this piece it's a very rich piece. First of all, I want to start from there actually. It starts with the heavily Baroque style piano, and then it shifts to many other colors like various kinds of regions worldwide. You can hear Middle Eastern sound, Persian sound, Central Asia, China, Turkish sound as well. And I love the fact that all of these styles are very well crafted in one piece. But this part particularly, I mean, it's Sami Yusuf sings from a Turkish poet called Kaygusuz Abdal. He's a Sufi poet. I love the way it speaks about love because it's basically not the kind of love that comforts you, but it's the kind of love that educates your ego, that gives you discomfort so you can be a better person at the end. And I love the high notes he goes to at that moment. And of course, I relate to it very much because it's in Turkish and I'm Turkish. So basically, sometimes I listen to the whole piece just for the sake of that 1 minute, 2 minute part, I must say. It really speaks to me. So the poem goes like, "Come, come, O heart, does sorrow match the cure?" That's my favorite part actually. Does sorrow match the cure? Because in Turkish culture or Muslim culture, we always say the cure is inside the sorrow always. How intertwined these two is. So the poem is basically talking about that. If you're going through a sorrow, the focus, your mind, your heart is going to, that's where the cure is also placed in. So basically, that's what poem is speaking about.
Yeah, that's amazing. And from what I know, I don't speak Turkish, but from what I know is that the language is very, very picturesque. So, and I feel like even if you don't speak the language, that really comes through in the way he enunciates or in the way he phrases. And
Turkish language is basically very romantic, I must say, full of emotions. So that's why probably exactly that part speaks to me from heart to heart, I would say.
Yeah. You already mentioned that it goes through so many different colors and cultures, also with instruments from the specific cultures that the style represents. And a part that really spoke to me is where most of the instruments play in unison and it's the different instruments from different cultures, but playing something like maybe quarter tone lines. You probably know which part I'm talking about. Maybe, yeah, and that's to me what makes the sound also so unique and so specific. Maybe you can speak a little bit on that.
Yes, definitely, because it's really hard to combine. Even, I mean, the region seems like close. They're actually different when you dive deep. And I always felt like this is what I've been trying to do with my music as well. But I always felt like it's really hard, and it needs so much attention, and the shifts between has to be very well crafted. So. I was amazed how well it was viewed in this piece, because it goes one after the other, kind of quickly sometimes, but you almost don't feel the shift. So I love the harmony inside this piece.
You just mentioned you yourself also are a pianist, composer, and you said that you also try that approach to go through these different sounds, if I understood you correctly.
Yeah, true. I mean, I'm looking for quarter tones on piano, but we don't have it. But I still try to get as close as I can, I must say. But I was trained with Western music, so I have this playing at the background always, but there's also a music that is coming from my childhood, so I cannot stop the desire inside to combine or make it closer to the Eastern sounds, and I'm trying to find ways to do it, how to do it.
Yeah, I imagine it's kind of hard.
It is, and it needs some certain instruments, definitely. But I have a new tuner guy. We are exploring to tune the piano in a different ways, so I can have some microtones, at least some of them, and we're just gonna see what comes out. I don't know. I'm just experimenting at the moment.
That's so exciting. Well, we're looking forward to hearing that. To go back to the piece and the poem and what you said about the language and also love as a topic being something somewhat of work that you have to do, and not like maybe not only the fantasy of everything going well, but really a job that has to be done, and that has to be done on the inside. Some people say that Sami has, really works through spiritual themes also in his music. Does that resonate with you? How do you approach that whole topic of spirituality in music, maybe?
His style changed very much, by the way, in the recent years, I would say. His lyrics and words were much more focused on religious thoughts. It still is, but at the moment, I think it sounds much more focused on Sufi culture, I would say, and sounds much more orchestral, as he has a wide orchestra at the moment. But I have this memory in my mind. When I started wearing the hijab, I was like 21 years old, and I was feeling very much motivated by his early works. Like, it was giving me motivation spiritually, I would say. That was also the time I started having driving lessons, and I bought his CDs. This I remember, and I was playing them in the car all the time, trying to hype myself up with his songs and lyrics.
Your music doesn't use words, correct?
Yes, I don't have.
Yeah, so I was just wondering if and how you create that connection, or I don't know if it's an assumption, but some sort of a spiritual connection in your music as well. and how you approach it?
Well, to be honest, I don't like the idea of categorizing, actually. I just care about what kind of atmosphere that music creates and what kind of feelings it leaves you with. For example, with my pieces, even if it starts from a very dark point, like dark tones, my focus is always to carry the piece into a hopeful place, into a I mean, I don't want to leave the audience, the listener, in a very discomfortable mood. I wanna have my songs have the ability to make things easier or make the mind easier. That's my focus. I don't care if it's called the spiritual music or if it's called classic, neoclassic, jazz, blah blah blah. So I don't care about the categories, to be honest, because I listen all music, all type of music. If it's serving to your spirituality, then it's spiritual music, simply.
Yeah, I totally feel that. I don't like categories myself. That was beautiful, and I think a beautiful way to end our conversation actually at this point. And I just want to thank you for joining me, for taking the time, for your insights, and for listening with me.
Thanks so much for having me.